All right. And now we're live everywhere. All right. So everybody has bad workouts. However, I think a lot of times we look at them wrong. Um, I think a lot of times because we're too weight focused. Like we have a very big issue with being weight focused. You know, our goals are how much weight did you lose? How much weight did you lift? Like, and that's neither one of those are in any way conducive unless you're a power lifter. So, you know, or you're trying to fit into a weight class for a sport. So, which very few folks are. So, uh, quick story. So, I lift with my 11-year-old every morning. Which, by the way, guys, dads, um, if you're wondering if you should spend the money to build a gym in your house, the answer is yes. Because once you start working out and you can start working out with your kids, it is the very best thing in the world. You get to spend one-on-one time with them. You get to, you know, talk about whatever it is. You get to it's spectacular. I cannot recommend it highly enough. So if you've been kicking around the idea of what to do with your boys and how to spend your money and what you should do, build a gym inside your house and work out with your boys. I literally can't say enough good things about it. Anyway, so I'm working out with my son today, and he's tired. He's just not hitting his weights. He's not you know, able to do the same weight. And we all have these days. Like every lifter will be like, yeah, there's days where you just feel weak and there's days you just feel strong. Like you'll go in and be like, I'm crushing it. And you'll be like, I'm going to go up in weight. And that's usually not a great idea. And there's days where you get in there, you're like, man, I got 8. I usually get 12. Like, I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm just not there today. And it's always a mental game. Because you're always like, did I get enough sleep? Have I drank enough water? Like, what is going on? Am I all of a sudden weaker? Which is, as stupid as that sounds, we're all like, did I lose a lot of muscle last night? Like, what happened to me? Like, it's always the crazy things that go through your head. And so he's obviously not doing well. He's grumpy with the fact that he can't do what he thinks he should be able to do. So we reduced the weights, we went up in reps, and we also went slower. And at the end of the workout, I asked him, and I was like, did you fail on the last couple of reps of every set you did? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, was the last set you did more difficult than the first? And he was like, yeah. And I go, are your muscles fatigued and tired? And he was like, yeah. And I go, then you won. Like that's the point of the workout, to fatigue the muscles. Some days you're going to use a little bit more weight, some days you're going to use a little less. And yeah, it plays with a lot of things. Barometric pressure is going to play a role. How much energy you have, how well you slept, how much water you have is a big one. You know, there's a whole dynamic of dehydration equaling muscle fatigue and lack of muscle contractive power and stuff like that. So yeah, dehydration is a big thing. So there's all sorts of things that factor into it. Where you are mentally, like, oh, there's just so many things. So again, if we start focusing on the amount of weight we move, you're gonna fail because you're gonna put yourself in a negative mental place. Again, the weights don't matter that much. It's, did you fatigue the muscle? Did you fail? Did your body give everything it could and then not be able to do something? Because that's the key. Convincing your body that it's not good enough the way it is right now today, so it has to grow and get better to do the same thing you ask it to do today, but do it tomorrow. That's the goal. It's not, did I move the weight 10 times? If you move the same weight 10 times all the time, you are failing your workout no matter how you're looking at it, because you're not going to grow. You're going to get used to it. You're going to be like, okay, this is what we do. And that's fine. It's especially fine for running. You're like, I'm going to run 5 miles every day. Great. I'm going to run for 30 minutes every day. Great. Fantastic. I would tell you to push a little bit more, try to go a little bit faster, try to go a little bit further, always, maybe a little bit of incline, always try to make it more difficult. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are running for 30 minutes for cardio. They're running for 30 minutes for whatever they're trying to do. And that's the goal they're achieving. So fantastic. However, when you're lifting, if you want to maintain size, great. If you want to maintain strength, great. You can do the same thing. But I don't think that's actually the goals of many people. And so if you're trying to make things look a little different, you're trying to make things bigger, stronger, whatever, you're going to have to move into that uncomfortable space. And the thing is that we tie it, again, way too much to weight. You're like, well, I can't lift this much. I can't do this much. That doesn't matter. In fact, most of the time, it's hilarious, especially with shoulders. So, like, I have big shoulders. People tell me all the time how nice my shoulders are. My laterals I do with 17 pounds, and it's hard. I've worked up to 17 pounds. So a lot of you 16, 17-year-old guys who are doing laterals with 30-pound dumbbells, you think that you're doing it right, might not be. So, the weight oftentimes is the idea that the more weight is the thing is oftentimes the things that are detracting from our actual workout. You're not going full range of motion. You're not exhausting the muscle properly. Your form is trash. All of these things happen. So keep that in mind. So when you have a bad workout, alter it. Alter your thinking. Like, man, I can't get the weight up. I'm tired. I'm this and that. Great. Fantastic. Because guess what? That's how you're going to be in life. Not every single day when you're trying to, walk up a set of stairs, or you're trying to move boxes, or you're trying to do anything physical, are you going to be perfectly rested, perfectly hydrated, and perfectly fed. So this is one of those things in life. So you're going to have days where you're just like, man, I am weaker. Like, this was a terrible workout. Did you exhaust the muscle? Yeah. Okay. You won. Like, you checked that box. You got what you needed to do. If you do it with less reps, less sets, and less weight, that's where you were today. Maybe you drink some more water. Maybe you get some more rest. Maybe you take some more supplementation. And then the next day is a strong day, or 2 days from there is a strong day. Great. Again, I don't care if you got all your sets and all your weight, all your sets and all your reps. If on that day, on your strong day, you leave the gym and you weren't exhausted, your bad workout day was actually better for you than your quote unquote good workout day. Just because you got your reps, you got your sets, you got your weights, doesn't mean you had a good workout at all. Because again, that shouldn't be your goal. If your goal is to grow and get better, you need to be in an uncomfortable failure state. That's the only place where growth happens. So if you have a bad workout day and you failed on, at the end of every set, like I always get 12 and I can only get 10, I almost got 11 on a couple of them. This was a terrible day. No, it wasn't. You failed on every set. That was the goal. That's always the goal. If you do it at 9 instead of 11, all right, that's just where you were today. So a lot of times we reframe what's going on, because again, your mental function on this is super hyper critical. So if you look at this from the way you need to look at it, I think that a lot of these things, you're going to start realizing your bad workout days were actually a lot better than you thought they were. In fact, they might have been, like I said, sometimes better than your quote unquote good workout days. Because again, I think a lot of people's goals are not where they need to be, because they have this long-term goal of trying to, like, I want to look like this. Great. Do you have the short-term goals? Do you have the daily goal? Do you have the, look, just eat like this today. Look, just sleep like this today. Just lift like this today. We'll worry about how much we can reproduce today, tomorrow. But today, we're going to focus on getting our workout in and to exhaustion. We're going to make sure we're eating right today. We're going to make sure we're sleeping right today, because all you can worry about is today. Like, anxiety is worry for the future. So don't do that. Do something today. It's like, well, this is unsustainable. Okay, that's fine. Is it unsustainable for 3 days, 10 days, 25 days? Who knows? Is it sustainable today? Great, then do it today. And then the next day, figure out how you're going to do it tomorrow. But that's kind of where it is. So like I said, a lot of times, and Zane was all kind of grumpy about it until I kind of explained to him, did you hit failure? He's like, yes. I'm like, all right, great. Are you tired? Yeah. Do your arms feel like they're not working very well anymore? Yeah. You win. That's it. That's all it was. And so we started changing his attitude about it. And all of a sudden, he starts coming in. He was like, because we dropped his weight. And he was like, so he's doing form a lot better. And he was like, now I see what you're talking about with squeezing the chest. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, cool. I go, can you reproduce that later? And he was like, well, now that I felt it, yeah. So again, this horrible workout day, he picked up a piece of where he could feel the form being right versus wrong. So this might have been the most beneficial workout he's had in weeks, because again, he was able to pick up something that he's going to be able to carry forward with him on his form, which is more important than weight by everything. So again, when we start thinking about our bad workout days, when we're tired, when I don't want to go to the gym, you need to go. Because one, you don't have commitment, you don't have dedication, you build those things. You build those things by doing the things you don't necessarily want to do. And so when you don't want to go work out, you need to go. When you don't want to lift, you need to go. When you're like, I'm going to get a terrible workout, fair, go get your terrible workout. Zane had a terrible workout today, and he picked up a piece of information that's just hypercritical. So once you're there, if the problem is if you've decided you're going to have a bad workout, you're going to have a bad workout. If when you get there, you're like, I'm a little tired, I'm going to hit failure faster. Let's go. I'm going to focus on my form. So I'm going to do less of them. Great. And there's all sorts of variables you can play with to make your bad workout better. Hey, I'm going to reduce my weight. All right, reduce your rest time. Increase the time under tension. Like, there's so many variables that are outside of weight that weight really and truly becomes irrelevant to what you're doing because it's pressure on the muscle the entire time. So keep that in mind. Next time you guys wake up tired, you wake up grumpy, you don't think you're going to get your workout, remember, those are sometimes the best workouts you can actually get because, again, if we reframe what we're actually trying to do, our actual goals, what they're supposed to be, you're going to get where you want to go a lot faster. So always go in, especially if you're tired, especially if you're feeling bad. Like one of my guys asked me, he was like, my throat hurts. Should I still go work out? I'm like, what day is it? He's like, it's chest day. I was like, your chest hurt? And he's like, no. And I was like, then go. If you start feeling worse while you're there, leave. But you've got allergies, man. Like, it's fine. Like, drink some water. Your throat's going to be sore. Suck it up. You'll be fine. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you guys can start reframing your mind so your workouts are, your bad workouts end up being great workouts. But keep that piece of idea in mind that it's not always the weight. It's always how you lift it.